Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm so glad you guys are here. Last week I released a video where I did part 1 of this segment where I'm analysing 3 articles from the 2016 VCAA exam. Today I will be talking about Article 2 and the cartoon. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but my screen is immensely cracked because I stepped on my iPad. As clumsy as I am. So let's just get started. If you haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and do so. And the link to the article I'm discussing today will be down in the description box below. All the annotations that I'll do today will also be in the description box for you guys. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and read it first before and annotate it yourself just so that you can get your own ideas and then come together and see what kind of ideas I have. So we've got in the next edition, the local newspaper published the following letter. Of course we share Councillor Wiley's concern. Of course we want to have our town to survive, but destroying its beauty is not the way to make it great. So this particular person, Warwick, says that they all share Councillor Wiley's concern. So by saying that he shares in Wiley's concern, he's putting himself out there as somebody who isn't just completely one-sided and not just, closed-minded to everything that Wiley's saying. He's showing that he understands her position and that he feels it too. And so in that sense, he's setting up his own argument in his own unique way. Just as Wiley set up her argument by talking about how the town has enjoyed the peace and then she knocks it down, he's kind of doing a very similar thing here in that he's kind of setting up the point that, yeah, we get it, Wiley. We get why you're saying all these things. And then he's going to punch it down. So interested in how the argument structure starts off here. And the fact that he says, of course we share, of course, it's like a no-brainer. We all get it. We all share in these concerns. If you are somebody who's in the audience, so a Lawton citizen, because it's a local newspaper, so don't forget that the place in which an article is published really gives you an idea as to who the audience is. It's a really, really strong hint. So if you're struggling to figure out who the audience is, just look at where it's been printed and by who. I mean, before it was from the mayor. So the mayor is going to write a message to their townspeople, just as a local newspaper is for the local community, right? Try to avoid just saying the audience as a very general, broad statement. I think examiners really love it if you can be very specific with the target audience and narrow it down. Don't forget that in certain parts of an article, you can have varied target audiences. So in the previous video, there was one section where the article targeted specific people, like the farmers, the young people, the people part of the nursing community. So they're the ones who would be a lot more connected to the issues as a result. So anyways, going back to the whole no-brainer thing, he's basically positioning himself in a place where he is saying that he agrees with her, but not in the way that she wants to go about it. He positions himself as someone who can also relate, and we can therefore relate to him too. But destroying its beauty is not the way to make it great. So he's saying here how it's counterproductive in appealing to the outside world, because by installing this massive installation, you're destroying the beauty of the town. And I think, again, I keep saying it's interesting, but it's great that he uses the word beauty because it's juxtaposed with what the words she uses. If you remember, she used a lot of positive connotations like luscious, grand, and so there's this air of beauty in which she constructs, which is very different to how Warwick perceives beauty. So let's read on to find out more about what this beauty really is. The country is paved with plenty of great attractions or large, ugly installations. Can't we be different? Can't we have a cultural focus? Surely an art gallery, an annual music festival, a literary week would be preferable to a monstrosity. Again, in contrast to Wiley's selected words, he uses negative connotations. He says that attractions are ugly. There are plenty of them, so it's not particularly special. And they're a monstrosity, which is such a huge word with a lot of heavy connotations to do with it. You know, if I look in the dictionary, the synonyms include eyesore, horror, like a freak of nature. These are things that none of us want in our local community. And by asking, can't we be different? Can't we have a cultural focus? He's suggesting to the audience that Lawton would be better liked by the public if it was more diverse, exerting its own culture. A different definition for beauty. And later when you're writing, you can actually contrast these two as well. By suggesting art gallery, annual music festival, literary week, all of these things have something with more meaning. They're beneficial to people's lives as evidenced later when he says, let's consider what gives value to our lives. It's a meaningful approach. The world already has too many selfie opportunities. So this counters Wiley's proposal and highlights the need for the community to support a better alternative to that of Wiley's, because the showcase will just be overrun by loud children and defaced by vandals. The idea of before we know it also kind of gives you this sense that we're just leaping into this, and this is just going to snowball into something where one day we're just going to look and be like, what the heck just happened? So there's this idea that we're moving too fast. It's not considered fully, an idea that isn't fully fleshed out. It's not the prosperity at any price. It's not sporting teams and the noisy show. It is quality of ideas. It is the pursuit of beauty. So maybe I'll do this in a different color again. Let me know if you guys prefer having different colors. So by saying the need for quality ideas and pursuit of beauty, this renders the audience to feel as though Lawton is worth much more than an attraction which just soars a height of 20 meters or more, and that the inhabitants should work together to truly highlight the beauty of Lawton. Our young people would be better employed as catalogue designers, gallery guides, or storytellers. Again, this contrasts to what she was saying before about the fact that, you know, people would probably end up working in the attraction. At least here, they're going to be catalog designers, they're going to be gallery guides and storytellers. Again, it's the idea that it's going to be more meaningful. It's going to be enriching for its people. And then just to sum up, you know, there's this easy pick of credentials here. Cool. So that's it for the second article. Let's move on to the third one, which is a cartoon. So I know cartoons can be tricky. A lot of it does come down to your interpretation, but here are some things that may help you get along your way. So there's a massive town we see straight away where it says Lawton, home of the giant watermelon. What this cartoonist is trying to show here is that if Wiley were to be supported, that it'd be a massive mistake for the community, because Lawton won't be known or appreciated for its multiple and unique facets that Warwick discussed before. Rather than taking in the beauty that the town has to offer, visitors will merely see Lawton as a place to visit, as though it's on a bucket list for the giant watermelon that it boasts of. So this idea here is just that it's a bucket list, is completely absent. There's a few things you could talk about here. Only known for one thing. And this is further portrayed by the people in the image who surround the watermelon. Here, you can see the church itself is completely abandoned in juxtaposition with all the people who surround the watermelon, showing how there's a lack of interest possessed by the visitors for the several other aspects that compose of the town and are important to the town. Then, of course, is the watermelon itself. The cartoon takes Wiley's opinion piece quite literally in her proposal that a landmark should be based off Lawton's luscious produce, and so Shaw incorporates a farm of watermelons beside the man-made watermelon, as you can see here. In another way, you could talk about how this signifies a place in which visitors, after having visited the giant watermelon, can purchase a souvenir in the form of a watermelon itself. The town that Shaw portrays is pretty small, and the focal point of the cartoon, being the watermelon, overshadows the rest of the community, and only a few houses are shown. You can see here, it's just a few houses. So it's almost as though the community culture has completely dissipated and is nowhere to be seen. And I'm just gonna write here that these are like souvenirs. One more thing that I'll mention is how it seems as though this is really just a pit stop for a lot of people. You can see that there are a lot of roads around, right? And you can see that there are all these cars, and they just look like they're just coming and going. They're not doing anything in the town. They're not visiting anywhere else. You don't see any cars going this way. You know, they're just coming in and out. It's just a pit stop. And Lawton as a community as we know it is no longer the same. That is all of my analysis today. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you have anything else you want to add, then please feel free to write it down in the comment section below. For any analyzing argument videos, if you guys leave an analysis, I'll make sure that I have a read of them and give you any feedback that I have. So yeah, if you found any of this helpful and you'd like to learn more and really bolster your own learning, then I'd highly recommend you our Ultimate English Study Guide. It's something where we've put our heart and soul into really digging deep into analyzing argument, going through single article, double articles, and triple articles, including images, talking about the different structures you could use, giving you sample essays that you can have a look at and base your own work off them so that you kind of have a very targeted direction that you're heading in that you know for sure is on the right track, because it's written by myself and also two other amazing girls who achieved study scores of 50 in English. So yeah, go and check that out, and I will see you guys next week where I will be showing you how I annotate and plan for these 3 articles under SAC conditions. See you then, bye.